The MG82 LMG is now available to use in Cold War multiplayer, so this is my full guide how to earn the gold camo on it in the quickest and easiest ways possible. In this video I'm going to be showing you the best classes, maps and playstyles you want to be using, as well as going through each individual challenge, giving you a few tips on how to complete each of them. The MG82 is a really high fire rate, high damage LMG, so you can get loads of really easy quick kills with it, but it's quite difficult to use because of the slow mobility if you don't have the right class on it. Set this up in the quickest way possible. You don't want to be playing on the small maps like Nuketown because it's not very good at range without the right attachments on it. It's playing on the small maps means you get a lot more easy kills to get leveled up and get those attachments unlocked quicker that you really need. Play on game modes like Domination and Hardpoint where you can predict the enemy spawns easier so you can stay alive longer and get more kills. Aim for headshots whilst you're doing this as well, because by the time you've got this gun to max level you can have had most of the spray and stripes completed, which is the normal kills and the headshot camos done and out of the way so you don't have to focus on once you've got the best class ready. So whilst you're doing this, use any attachments on the gun that you think will work best for you, but I'd really recommend putting on ones which increase movement speed and ADS speed, as the mobility of this gun, the slowness of it, is what will really put you off and stop you getting those kills in the easiest ways. So you can play in hardcore or core whilst you are doing this, but I found that core worked the best because the gun is really powerful, but because it is so slow you'll often find that you're not getting your gun up and ready in time, and all those other guns which do have better mobility and faster ADS speeds will be killing you before you have time to take the shots. So I recommend really playing inside of core because it does a lot of damage, you can get the kills quite easily in there, and it is really accurate so you can land loads of shots getting the really easy kills nice and quickly. I often found that I was rushing in too much and I was dying a lot because of it, but when I slowed down and played further back I just started beaming one player at a time and I got way more kills doing it that way. So if you do find that you're dying quite a lot, just try and play a lot slower, sit back and pick players off, because that's a much easier way to use this gun and it's really the way the gun's meant to be used. Going up against SMGs with this gun you're unlikely to win the gunfight, so if you play further back just pick them off at further ranges, you should get a lot more kills in a lot easier ways doing that and it'll be a lot less annoying. But once you've got the gun leveled all the way up you can put on the best class setup, which will make it so much easier to complete all the camo challenges. So the class you want to be running is the Cobra Red Dot Sight, the Agency Suppressor, the Division Barrel, the 5mm laser, the Field Agent Grip, 125 round mags, airborne elastic wrap and no stock. You can run the Raider stock instead of no stock if you want, but I found that with no stock on felt a lot faster, felt like I could rush and get more kills and stay alive longer. The Raider just felt a little bit slow, even though in the stats it doesn't say anything about this. There are sometimes hidden stats behind them which can make it feel different when you are using it in game, so I went in no stock, but if you want to play really slow then do put on the Raider for the whole time. For the perks are on Tac Mass, Track and Go, so stay alive longer, track down kills easily and stay undetected. Once you've got the attachments unlocked and the class made, you're in the best position to complete all the camo challenges. So now I'm going to go through them all individually, giving you a few tips on each one and some changes that you might want to make to your classes to make them easier to complete. So the first one is spray, and like I said you'll have already completed this one because this is just 300 kills, so definitely got 300 kills just whilst you were leveling the gun up. Then you've got stripes, which is 75 headshots. You probably completed quite a bit of this one just because it is quite simple to do, and if you're aiming for headshots whilst you're leveling up, like I said, you will have got quite a lot of them done anyway. So if you haven't quite finished it off, then make sure you finish off with the best class because it'll be a lot easier to do now that the class is really good. Next is classic, which is 25 kill streaks. For this one you might have a few left to complete because it can be a little bit difficult to do, but as long as you're using the best class that I just gave you and you're playing inside of hardpoint or domination, playing around those objectives, it shouldn't be too difficult. Just play around the objectives, wait for the enemies to come through choke points and stuff like that if you are really struggling, and it shouldn't take you too long to get all these 5 kill streaks. Then we have Geometric, which is 50 long shots, and this can be one of the hardest ones to complete. You can get these with the normal class, but if you are struggling to do it then I would recommend using this class instead. The Axial Arms 3x Optic, the Agency Suppressor, the Match Grade Barrel, the SOF Target Designator, the Field Agent Grip, the 125 round mags, the Airborne Elastic Wrap and the Raider stock. This class will make it much easier to get those kills at further ranges as it has more damage, less recoil, and you can aim much more accurately. Playing in hardcore make it way easier to get the kills as well because you only need a couple of bullets to get each kill at range, but I'd recommend still spraying it and not tap firing as it's much easier to manage the recoil when you spray. When you tap fire it just gets really jumpy, so just spray towards them, pull down a bit and you'll land those shots really easily at longer ranges with this class. Some good places to play on to get these long shots on Nuketown, playing down the sides of the houses and in the garages, outside on Miami and also on Raid. I did most of mine this time on Nuketown just using the normal best class setup that I said, just spraying down the side of the buildings and getting shots like that. But if you are struggling, like I said, do change that class because it will be a lot easier to do using that. Floor It is the next one, that's 75 kills and enemies detected, stunned or blinded by your streaks, field upgrade or equipment. For this one you want to make sure you're running UAV, counter UAV and harp right from the start and running the field mic, because then anytime you get a kill whilst the enemies are detected or stunned or anything like that from these streaks or field upgrades, it will all count towards this challenge. So the sooner you start it, the easier it'll be to get it completed. Just make sure you're running all those things on your classes and on your streaks, and then you'll get them completed really quickly. So make sure you're dropping them down and calling them in as soon as you get them, and as soon as you got the challenge unlocked, make sure you're putting them on and using them as much as possible, because that way you won't have to focus on it at all. It'll just get done whilst you are doing all the other ones. Next you have Sight, which is 50 kills on enemies taking cover. For this one, there isn't really much you can actually change to make it easier to complete. You'll just get them over time, but something you can do to make it easier is focus on your own positioning. If you just wait on choke points, holding cover and holding windows and stuff like that, you can get these kills a lot easier. Just make sure you're waiting around those points, then when you get a kill an enemy, when you can't see 50% of their body, then this will count towards the challenge. So you can also get wallbang kills on players, shooting through cover and stuff like that will also all count towards this challenge. So just do this again over time whilst you are doing all the others that you need to focus on, and you'll get these naturally as you go. Then finally we have Psychedelic, which is just 25 double kills. Most likely you'll have completed all of these super easy without even thinking about it, but if you haven't, then just do what I said for Classic. Keep playing with the best class setup on domination hard point around those objectives. It won't take you too long to get, because double kills are really easy to get inside of this game mode. But that's been my full guide for how to unlock the gold camo on the MG82 LMG in the quickest and easiest ways possible inside of Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer. If this video has been helpful, then you'll definitely want to check out more videos just like this one, which are linked on screen now, including the nail gun gold guide, which is a really hard one to do. I'd really recommend doing it because it's really fun and you'll be able to show it off in game and in Warzone. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.